Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Jennings. I am not at school right now. I'm on day 6 of my COVID isolation. So I'm still testing positive, but I feel pretty much normal. So hopefully that'll clear up. And you might not even see this video if I'm back in time. But I wanted to plan ahead a little bit, and I wanted to talk about for the AP US history class what we should do for note taking because reading our textbook and note taking is going to be a big part of our class. So I want to get us started and also have a video that we can refer back to later. So let's get started right here. So this is College Board. This will be the first thing you'll actually need to log into. Let me zoom in a little bit here. I'll show you the join codes here. So you might want to pause it. If you're in my first period, this is your join code. So you're going to go to this website here and you're going to type in this code. And this is going to get you into my class for first period, and then fifth period will be the same thing. This is the website you go to. This is the code you enter to join the College Board class. So College Board is who's going to be giving us our AP test down the road. So it's important we join this because a lot of the information will come from that website. If you've already enrolled in other AP classes, you won't have to take the time to create an account. But if you have not yet done that, you will have to go through the whole questionnaire that they have in order to get things done. So anyway, wanted to show you that first. I wanted to show you about the actual course and the units, and then we'll talk about setting up the notebook, how I want you to take notes in my class, because we are going to be taking notes on old-fashioned pen and paper. And this is not what I was looking for, um, but it might work. No, let's go back here. Hold on. If I knew how to edit videos, I would edit this part all out. So, of course, about the units. There we go. There we go. All right, so there's 9 different units that we need to know. Let me zoom in on these. All right, so what we do in our class is we combine units 1 and 2. Let's see if we open this here. It tells you what percent of the exam is going to be covering on that. So 4 to 6% of the exam we take in May is going to be from this topic from Unit 1, and for Unit 2, it's 6 to 8%. So when you add that up, 10 to 14%, and you'll notice the next few units, it's around that same percentage as well, 10 to 17%, 10 to 17%. All right, so most of the units that we cover after this, we're just going to have one solitary unit, but we're going to combine for the first 2 units. The reason I bring that up is because in our notebooks, I want us to have a unit page in our notebooks. So let's go to OneNote here. I already drew my beautiful line. So we're going to be doing interactive notebooks in our class. So that means you actually need to get like a 3-ring binder, or sorry, a bound notebook, one that looks like, I got a bunch of them on sale. Hold on. Those are a little trash. Like this. All right, so spiral is fine. You can have the flat ones without the spiral, but it needs to be in a notebook, and you need to have it where you're going to have like a title page, and you're going to have stuff that you do on the left side. So when we take notes from the textbook, I only want you to use the right side pages. You're going to leave the left for later. Leave the left for later. It's a bunch of L's. The left side, leave the left side for later. And you're going to take notes on the right side, on the right side, on the right side. Okay, hopefully that's clear. So what you'll do on the first page, and I can actually do this, this is going to be periods 1 and 2. This pen's running out, period 2. All right, if we go back to the College Board website, you'll notice they call units or periods, unit 1, period 1. It's the same kind of thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill in the page like this. I don't know if you can see that. Period 1 and period 2. And then you're going to skip to the next page. And you're going to set up the page with Cornell notes. So you're just going to draw your line on the top, or sorry, draw your line on the side, kind of like this. And you're going to leave this column. We'll talk about that in a second. And then you're going to do the majority of your notes over on this side here. So far, so good. Excellent. All right, so here's my online version. I figured it'd be easier than writing. I just have a OneNote page. You are going to have to use regular paper, though, to do yours. So let's put those side by side. Is my hippo page the one I want? No, it's not. All right, I am interested in that. All right, here it is. This is what I was looking for, the actual textbook. So I found an online version. You'll have a real textbook that you can use, but basically, the way the textbook works is it has different parts. Part one is going to be covering all the way through 1783. So if we look at the time period that was listed before, this one goes all the way through what's called period three. So it's not really aligned necessarily with the same thing, but the chapters, when we look at the chapters, they will be lined up. So each chapter gives you kind of a time period. So this chapter, chapter one, goes from 33,000 BC to AD 1769. All right, what we really want to focus on in this course is 1491. That's going to be the start of the US history timeline that we're going to be concerned with. All right, so when we go to the textbook here, we'll see that. There we go, that's what I wanted. All right, so it talks about, several billion years ago, the Earth, blah, 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 blah. All right, we're going to skip over this, and we're going to look at when it talks about 1491. All right, so skipping, skipping, skipping. Earliest Americans, we do need to know a little bit about this. So this is going to be where we're going to start our notes on the section that says earliest Americans. So for chapter one, you can kind of skip that first whole part where it talks about the Aztecs and all that. They will come up later. Oh, here's the word actually, 1492. That's what we want. All right, so I take that back. You can skip over the Ice Age. You can start right here where it says time did not stand still for these original inhabitants. All right, so peopling the Americas is our first section. So what we want then is to take notes on that. So let me do split screen here. All right, so you're going to type over here, peopling the Americas. That's going to be your section heading that goes over on the one side. Let me hide that there. And then what I want you to do is read through the peopling the Americas section, and you're going to take notes covering peopling the Americas basically on this side of the page. All right, like I said, I'm doing this digitally, but you're going to do it not digitally. All right, so here's the year we want. So you could say about 54 million people lived in the Americas by 1492. All right, you can add some subnotes to that. I would say something like 2,000 languages. All right, and then we get some details down here. Incas were in Peru, the Mayans in Central America. All right, scroll down, scroll down. All right, Aztecs were also a part of that. In Mexico. Okay, so that's a good overview here. Each section, I'm just looking for kind of a quick summary in different cultures. I don't want you to write exactly what the book says, word for word. That's not going to help you. What's going to help you is understanding and kind of paraphrasing the information. So let's copy this next section here, the earliest Americans, and you're going to keep reading here. All right, so corn is the main crop for corn was the main crop. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so basically we want to look at kind of how they lived, what they did, what were the different civilizations, those kind of things. All right, so corn was the main crop. There's a group here they call the mound builders of the Ohio River Valley, the desert dwelling Anzanzi people. They had some ruins and canyons. All right, so this is something that sometimes will come up, three sister farming. And you can explain what that was. Beans grew on the trellis of corn stalks, and squash covered the soil to retain moisture. All right, Iroquois, Quys, created a confederation of nation states throughout Mexico and Peru. Okay, that's an interesting fact. We'll talk about that in class because that's kind of similar to the federal system that we have here. All right, so I think we kind of get what I'm trying to say here. So for every section, let me put this full screen, and I don't need to talk much longer here. For every section in the textbook where it has a heading, like the earliest Americans, in your notes, that is going to go over here. And then you're going to take notes based on that over here. And when you get to the next section, you're going to do the same thing. So earliest Americas, scroll, scroll, scroll. Indirect discoverers of the New World. You're going to put that over here. And then you're going to take notes on the information that's covered in that part. Europeans enter Africa. All right, same thing. Going to put it over there. You're going to take notes on all the information that's covered in that section, and so on until you kind of get to the end of this section. Oops. All right. When worlds collide. It's going to be the next part. All right, so this is an online one. The format might look a little different. I don't know if I have actually the same version as your textbook, but the textbooks we have are what we're going to use. Because the information is sometimes organized a little differently. Because of that, we don't want to get confused with which one is which. The Spanish conquistadores. All right, so this is all chapter one, chapter one, chapter one. There's a couple other sections as well. All right, we're going to cover a chapter a week, so it's important that you keep up with the reading. I am going to check the notes per chapter, so we'll have a weekly notes check, and we'll also have daily things that we'll do with the notes as well, and as well as the left pages. So in class, we're going to go over a lot of the same information. We'll add to it. We'll do some activities as well, but for the most part, we are going to be using the textbook as the majority of the information gathering source. All right, so that's it. Hopefully you skipped over that middle section. I'll tell you which parts to skip. I'll try to put this up on YouTube or something and have it available for everyone. And I hope to see everyone pretty soon. Bye.